You kind of a trench bitch. You're a trench bitch. That's a good thing. You're tough.
Where did you come from then? Where did you come from?
Where did what? I mean, that's today's opening song. First of all, you were jamming, you were bopping your head. You're going
I bopped to it, but like a trench, like.
What is a trench? You would like me?
No.
You would like me?
Why is the bitch part about it? I know what the trenches is. I know what the trenches is. I mean, we grew up in it. Not really, we didn't. We grew up in Ashburn, Virginia, way outside of the trenches.
Well, that's my point. I feel like asking the, Ashburntonian his whole life, which is a term no one's ever used.
Both of us. Don't put me in a bubble. You were in an Ashburntonian all your life.
Yeah, I did. I said.
I thought you said.
No one was dragging you along with me. I said me being Ashburntonian.
You're acting like I thought you were gonna be like Joey from the hood.
No, absolutely not.
Southern's Crossing.
And so that's exactly why, one, I'm making my voice a little more white than usual. Two, not only that, I am letting you know, I don't know if the 27-year-old who's been an Ashburntonian his whole entire life is exactly qualified to go ahead and tell you what a trench bitch is, but I will go ahead and try to do so anyway. What I believe a trench bitch is what a quote, like a pimp refers to his top bitch as his best bitch. Again, not my term, that is just a term that is used in the industry, not a term that I believe.
Bitch.
So I'm calling you, you'd be my trench bitch. You know what I'm saying?
So you're
I'm
yours. I'm saying you're not mine because you're my trench bitch. You're my bottom.
You're my trench bitch.
You're my bottom.
You're my trench bitch. You're holding my
Here's the deal.
You're holding my bags of money.
Now,
you put the lipstick on. You look real cute.
Hey, should you don't tell the viewers why we haven't been in the studio for so long.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay, you know what?
There it is. See, you want to do that? I was gonna let it go, but now you called me.
You were gonna let it? Oh, because I let you. Okay, that's fair. So again, sorry I work 60-hour work weeks. I apologize. I've never worked this much in my whole entire life. It should slow down a little bit because I overestimated the amount of swim lessons to take on with the new job. Trying to buy my own house.
Right.
What's that town in SpongeBob called again? Or in right by Bikini Bottom?
Fuck.
How can I help you?
I forgot what it's called. I know exactly what you're talking about because they have to speak in that voice. Rock Bottom. It was just called Rock Bottom.
Was it called Rock Bottom?
Yeah, it was just called Rock Bottom.
I feel like I'm in Rock Bottom right now.
Well, you said trench bitch. You could have just called me something like nice, like hey.
That's a compliment.
You're grinding.
You hold my pack and my money in the trenches.
Blah blah blah.
When 5 comes, when the lockdown gets deep, when DEA gets their guns swinging, you're my trench bitch. You're there for me.
Anyways.
Thank you.
You're not my. Don't. First of all, nice shirt, stuck up clothing, finest fashion. Money can buy.
The other thing I was going to say is like my 60-hour work weeks aside and my absentees. Again, by the way, it's the summer, and for everybody that's like Joe, once again, you're consistently inconsistent. I understand. I know we had this big apology a couple weeks back. You have to understand some of our topics too.
We're gonna have this apology until the season starts. I feel like this is just now a running joke.
100% is just a bit at this point.
He calls me the trench bitch.
But the trench bitch is reliable, so I definitely wouldn't be the trench bitch.
You're like the bottom. You're like the bottom bitch.
I know that I'm top, because, bottom bitch is the top bitch.
No,
so
bottom
I can't
bitch
miss.
Is
bottom
you're
bitch.
sucking dick for 25 cents to get on the bottom.
But I'm top dick sucker, is what I am. I'm quality. Watch the South Park episode.
I feel like this is just like you defining something.
Just back to the front here, okay? Is back to the main theme, is this, okay? Is that, I went ahead and wanted to tell you what I love about stuck-up clothing. This is where we're getting way back to the center here before I get too lost in the many threads we've created. Is, I typically, dress like a 12-year-old when I do show up to this show. I look like I just discovered puberty.
Wearing like Sesame Street characters.
Sure, right. Wearing my Family Guy t-shirts and my too long shorts, with my socks right up to those shorts right below my knees. I get it. I understand. Thank you to Stuck Up Clothing for the first time maybe ever recording this show, giving me a little sex appeal, giving me, basically making me what we all know and
it's tough.
Eventually end up as which is the sex symbol. Now, I understand it might be tough for you, Newt. I ask you just to keep it together there. I ask you to just keep your pants on, buddy. I see you looking at me. I see you're looking at me like a hungry trench bitch.
Nope.
And I just asked you. Nope. You're making intense eye contact with me, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just say, control yourself, and let's try to do a football show.
Oh, another picture of Aaron Rodgers. Oh, okay, you're done?
Yeah,
we're
gonna do a show.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy!
my 5 minutes of stand-up.
All right.
Yeah.
So, obviously, with the time being passed and allotted, because
You got it,
this,
trench bitch.
here,
You got it.
this guy. He is a bottom. He's a power bottom for all you guys out there.
All right, you know,
The
we'll call truce with me being a trench bitch and me being a power bottom.
There you go. The biggest news that came out of training camp, obviously training camp has started. All the teams, all 32 teams have now opened their doors for the new season, blah, 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 blah. Some of them have came unscathed. Some have gotten injuries. None bigger than...
Keep going at this pace.
Because it's fun, because I'm building momentum.
Okay, thank you.
So everybody wants to pick with the Rams to be like one
In
of the
case
Super
anyone
Bowl
wants to do a
champions.
podcast of your own, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it. The Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl contenders. Got Matthew Stafford. Defense is pretty good. Offense is awesome. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Starting running back Cam Akers out with an Achilles injury. Out for the entire season. Needs 6 to 9 months of recovery. Now, this injury is not like your typical injury. Not like your ACL, PCL, MCL.
It literally stopped Brad Pitt from getting Helen of Troy.
Yeah, there you go.
100%.
I mean, one of my best friends had an Achilles injury. He's scared to this day to do certain things because of it. A lot of athletes don't come back.
Your reference was just as cool.
I mean, because you said Achilles, like I can't go higher than fucking Achilles. Like I can't. What do you want me to do? Like, that is like the tip of the top.
Painted you into a
Oh
corner
my
there.
God, yeah, it was like, what do I fucking do now? Yeah, I'm gonna go to this lesser person, my friend that I know.
Here's my friend that nobody knows what I'm
Oh my
talking
gosh.
about, except for maybe the friend.
So a lot of athletes did have this injury. Kobe Bryant had this injury.
Yeah.
He stopped playing the year after because he said he didn't have the same explosiveness.
Yeah.
A lot of people had that injury. So my question is, Cam Akers, this is his second year. This is his second year. He's really young. This injury happens. I'm not going to say he's not going to be the same Cam Akers when he comes back.
Sure.
I'm just going to say maybe don't think this is a guy who's going to be your long-term plan for your running game. Because now that he has this injury, what will he become? You would have to think they would try an insurance plan maybe later on. They have Darrell Henderson. They have these guys named Jake Funk and like all these things. They're going with them.
Jacob Funk and John Jazz and
the Rams' outlook
Steven
right now.
Sympathy. I got three.
The Rams' outlook right now is we're going to see how it does, but if somebody who's good enough who gets cut from one of these teams will get signed probably. Next year, Cam Akers, we'll see how it is. I still don't think this ruins the Rams' achievement to go to the Super Bowl, go to these things, because I think
it still impacts it.
It impacts it, but I don't think it impacts it to the point where it's like if it was Matthew Stafford, obviously, or Aaron Donald, or Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
But, like, I mean, obviously those are big key points, but I'm saying Cam Akers is probably, I think he's like in the tier 3. If they're tier 1, there's tier 2, which is like maybe offensive lineman, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. He's tier 3 where it's like, if he gets injured, that's not a significant loss because I don't think they run the ball that well to begin with.
And they had the three-headed horseman all last year, right?
Exactly.
And so the way I'm looking at it is this, one, we were not totally sure what the road Akers is going in, right? We saw some flashes of success. We saw some flashes of barely being able to hold onto the ball. We did see that injury proneness last year, too. So for me, it is he going that Eddie Lacy road, where we're going ahead and we're having a 24 rack and a whole chicken every single day? Is he going to start going that road? Or is he going to be a comeback king like a Derrick Henry, where we weren't too sure on him his first 2 years either, and then boom, he's what we thought he'd be.
Right.
So I think the jury's still out. I think as of this year, it doesn't significantly impact. The future, I think it's much more significantly impactful. Do we finally have our guy that we've been looking for in all these years, like a Marshall Faulk, just to replace that void that's
Todd Gurley that 1 year.
Whatever. And so, I mean, I guess, yes, sure.
You gotta say Todd Gurley, because, I mean,
for that 1 year, yeah.
everybody
we
was.
let the dogs out here.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
100%.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see, man. I'm not too concerned about it right now, but it's just how every story here, how do you recover from the injury?
Exactly. So I think he's young enough that this might be as impactful like what we said Kobe Bryant when he was at the end of his career, but we'll see. But somebody who can probably not make it through.
You know, I should come more consistently just to see your transitions.
Come on.
You know, nothing's become great. That's not even sarcasm. Over the years, they've gotten so much better.
I mean,
And I just want to compliment.
all right,
Partner.
Listen,
Buddy.
good up top with the shirt, but I mean, come on, where are you going? You going sailing?
Yeah, I am in fact.
Oh my God, are you actually?
Yeah.
Is that why you're?
I really am, yeah. Me and Jeff are in the boat with Anthony's boat. I swear to God.
I actually was kidding, but all right.
I'm actually not going, by the way. I'm a great actor, though.
Richard Sherman, a guy who is in the business.
What a fucking transition! And your pick of transitions was having your voice go higher. You're doing a voice higher bit.
Yeah, I'm just
for the
gonna go.
domestic violence case. Okay, cool.
Richard Sherman, domestic violence. That's all we need to say.
Should be laughing.
No, Richard
Terrible.
Sherman, a guy who's been in limbo this free agency.
And what you did is terrible too, you piece of shit.
This free agency. People are talking about which team he's going to. Is he going to go back to the Niners? Hold up.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
He drank a whole bottle of Hennessy and tried to beat up his stepdad.
Maybe he should put his 2 cents in it?
There's a video out there of him just trying to beat down a door, saying, "Come out, Ray, come out, Ray." Basically, his stepdad. You hear his wife yelling. Apparently, after all this, there's some charges maybe being dropped, whatever. I don't see Richard Sherman getting picked up anyways. Even if this was a thing, Richard Sherman is done. Richard Sherman is gone. He's not going to be signed by anyone. This is done now. This guy, he has some problems. Like, I don't know about you. Everybody saw the Aaron Andrews interview all those years ago. Could have set me up on a fucking sorry receiver like Crabtree, blah, blah, blah.
Classic moment. Hero moment, even.
Might say Seattle Lord.
You're gonna put me up against a Sarge receiver like Crabtree?
Seattle
And
Lord.
think we won't win?
Gary Payton, Sean Kemp,
That was
Marshawn
cancelable,
Lynch,
wasn't it?
and Intro. This guy, yeah, he has some problems in the old brain.
They've always kind of slipped out, and clearly there's been more enjoyable moments like that Super Bowl moment. I loved it. I know a couple of our listeners definitely loved it.
Everybody loves it.
Right, Jeff, who's in the corner, loved that moment. We called each other. I remember that moment. It was fantastic. I remember it upset my mom. I got mommy issues. That made me happy with how offended she was by the moment. We don't have to dig too deep into that.
Wow.
But then there's that ugly hat, right, Newt? Then there's that ugly hat that seems to also pop out, whether it started first with troubles with teammates, not getting along, getting offended and being insecure with troubles with Stanford. Remember when it's just like, y'all don't think I'm capable of just insecure stuff? That maybe derives from a different background, yada yada yada, but it's clearly boiled its head and it clearly shown its worst side.
I mean, this guy just from beginning to end has had his ups and downs with mental health. Hope he gets the help he needs, but at the same time, it's kind of getting ridiculous to the point where what got you so drunk to the point where you wanted to fight your own father-in-law and try to hit your, I'm guessing it was his wife.
And we don't have any further details on that, right? Again, 60-hour.
A lot of people. I think the charges are being dropped. His wife and him are working on things. I think he's working on himself, which I think this year off of football might help him. I don't see him getting picked up anyways because I don't see people need him in the corner like Richard Sherman. And that's weird to say, right? Because he's probably top 3 of our generation with Darrell Revis, Akeem Talib, all those guys. But he's. I mean, he just needs a year off.
He needs that sports therapist from Ted Lasso,
yes.
ASAP. I know you watched that new episode.
That's why I'm saying.
Also, we never talked about that as friends or partners. We got to talk about that show.
Right.
We don't have to do it right now. You want to talk about it on air? We can do it real quick.
What?
It's just.
I didn't see the first episode. I didn't see the second episode.
They're releasing it. You saw the first episode of season 2, correct?
I did not see that yet.
Oh, so you have no idea what I said. You're just playing good face.
I'm playing good face.
Okay.
I was trying to be nice.
The first season, though, how'd you like it? I never talked to you about it.
I mean,
that is how I coach, by the way. That is literally how I coach.
What, you all of a sudden go crazy?
No, I kid. He doesn't go crazy.
He got me.
He doesn't go crazy at all. I would disagree with that. He has a little breakdown because of the divorce with his wife, which is understandable. but like then like gets it together by the end of the season and puts a really good message on that last episode, telling a player that he had to trade away to go ahead. I'm glad you took that extra pass, which you never did. So I would argue he gets in a good mental state, and he also, nice spin there though, nice try. We'll let you do not to this show, dude. But Ted Lasso, as we're all on the hype train. I watched it from the first episode of last year. Huge Jason Sudeikis guy. just wonderfully written, dude. Did you watch the first season?
I said yes.
Okay, just had to check one more time.
I'm just letting you rant.
Wonderfully great first season. Just really, really well written, inspiring. Like I told you, I tried to take the same optimistic spin and kill him with kindness to coaching. It's just something that I think hit everybody at the right time, and best show that's come out in the last 5 years. I could get as you can see, I get very sentimental just about this show because it is that fucking good. Watch season 2, even though everybody's already on it and the hype's all over it. But
yeah, it's like for like a shit ton of Emmys, so it's like already up there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the new. I want to say it's gonna be the new Office where everybody watches it.
I hope so.
So everybody
deserves it.
Yeah. So Richard Sherman, maybe you should watch Ted Lasso and calm down.
Or the new, for everyone that did watch the first episode of season 2, The Sports Psychologist, go see her. I think you need it, buddy. I mean,
Did she jerk people off? Is that what it is? Is that the joke?
That's not, no, it's legitimately, she's just a good sports therapist in the show.
Okay.
And he could literally
Because usually in those shows, I guess
there's no bit, there's legitimately no bit here.
Okay.
There's no bit.
Alright. Because you know if it was like Blue Mountain State, it's definitely like she's sucking dudes off.
Right. It's not, it's better fucking writing than Blue Mountain goddamn State.
First of all, don't shun that shit.
I mean, it was good. I loved it. I watched it.
I was about to say, you out of all people.
But the laziest writing I've ever seen, which is a popular episode. No, just listen. No, I'm not. Because like it was the drug episode. Oh, we're just gonna literally get as many drugs as easy and like possible, and like the kicker.
Again, you.
I didn't like that episode.
It's
bad writing.
You out of all
It's bad writing. It's an easy trope to get easy laughs.
But that's like the same thing as a sitcom of doing the whole we switch bodies or like
right. I hate that shit too.
I mean that's just the way it is.
You don't have to do those shitty content. We're not gonna get into this whole. Because see, this is the new podcast we're trying to do right here.
You can only run out with new podcast. We're gonna talk about these things, but. Here's the
potential.
Fillers. You can't just have a home run every time. Even The Office had that, and even like fucking Cheers.
Okay. The shows that are great. So I saw that your other podcast did a Always Sunny thing. Always Sunny did a episode. Well, listen. Always Sunny did a great episode where it was their flashback or romance episode. But you flip that trope on its head. That's great writing. That's what those great shows that truly write very well. They flip the trope on the head, and then as you get on, it eventually becomes like a Seinfeld parody episode, which was fucking brilliant.
That was funny.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean,
great. I mean, I'm trying to think of what's another great example. There's a couple shows like Tim Robinson, which is a sketch show, but he literally he took the Scrooge. No, this is great. He took Scrooge. He took the story of Scrooge, Three Ghosts, the most common trope for shows to spin off of, and all the shows and TV and film, yada yada yada, is that, and he took it and took Sam Richardson, his partner in the Detroiters, took him and basically turned him into a robot, and they had to go ahead and take down the future robot-like species that's trying to take over planet Earth, and he takes Scrooge, and Scrooge has to bash up a bunch of random fucking aliens. It's dumb, it's stupid enough, but it works. It's just great writing with bad tropes flipped on its head. Besides that, the bad trope is fucking insufferable, and goddamn do we get down a monkey hole. We're talking about Richard Sherman and his domestic violence, I believe?
Aaron Rodgers.
You're just gonna let me go. I took a 5-hour energy today.
You take that going.
You said, huh? What the fuck you say to me?
Yeah, fuck Richard Sherman. We're done with Richard Sherman.
Okay. We clearly don't want to talk about it. And we clearly just. It was a nice.
I don't like it.
It was a nice.
I don't like it.
I like that one moment. This was a.
The one moment is different than in life.
I wish he didn't have this
thing. I hated it
because I loved his I did like his personality to a certain extent, and then.
I liked how he kind of put.
He backed up his shit talk.
He backed up his shit talk. He put the NCAA in a body bag. He basically he's like, great question. Here's what happens. So, great for you, Richard Sherman. Hope you get help. But on to the real thing.
And it was a great experimental for doing our future podcast, which is arguing comedy and other TVs and shows, which is not done enough and will be the first show to ever do it.
So the Jeopardy host. Let me just throw out the bat.
There you go.
The Jeopardy host signs a contract.
Celebrity Jeopardy host.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers, if anybody doesn't know, it has reported to training camp, and everybody's like, "What?" Well, he had 2 years left on his mega deal. Reports came out that the Packers gave him An extension, it wasn't about money. Clearly, it wasn't about money because if it wasn't the extension, he would have been clearly the highest paid player in NFL history over Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And that shows you a lot of what he wants to do. So obviously the Packers, it seems like they're playing a game, which is a game that they're gonna fucking lose.
Yeah.
Which they should have traded him when they had the goddamn chance, but they didn't. They gave the money up front. Now he's on a 1-year deal. He is now gonna play for the Packers at least this year, and he's gonna play with Davante Adams, with Aaron Jones, the Smith brothers, Alexander. Give it one more shot to the Super Bowl, because here's what the Packers think is gonna happen: that if they win the Super Bowl, Mr. fucking Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are gonna stay around, which never happens in these situations.
No. So it's bad logic already, right?
So it's stupid.
Remember, again, I think I said this halfway through the summer, on one of the few episodes I did show up this summer, and we said it's a toxic relationship at this point, right? I mean, it's basically what this is. We've had, a couple friends that we've seen like this throughout the years, and we've all had a friend like this, where they just can't end the relationship, right? A terrible fight, we're all like, oh, it's done for real this time. Good, because they're both kind of my friends. They'll be healthier. It'll be, great for their mental state, and they'll be tolerable again. Nope, sorry. What happens almost 9 times out of 10 in these toxic relationships is they go back to what they know, they go back to the abuse they trust, and they know what they know there, so why go to the unknown? Whatever that conversation was like, that's essentially what it is, and now you're staying in this bad relationship for another year. Listen, on paper, this team is a Super Bowl team. Easy. But don't tell me you don't think for a goddamn second this whole offseason is not impactful on the Packers. It is demonstrous to the Packers season. It is incredibly volatile and toxic, and I just don't, from someone that supported a very volatile and toxic team and maybe has some light at the end of the tunnel here finally, let me know from past experience, it's not going to end well, boys.
It's not going to end well.
Yeah.
And here's get ready for your balls to get fucking wet.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, you got some breaking news? You got a bomb live? You got a live bomb?
No. But, so, the Washington football team did hire a content guy, Mike Silver, I think you know.
Yeah.
Good friends with Aaron Rodgers. Quarterback away from being a good team, like a
legitimate Super Bowl contending team. Yeah.
So.
Wait, what was that? You kind of like mumbled. Super Bowl contending. Yeah.
With the 10th pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the Washington football team selects Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
there you go. You're welcome. See, you did it for me. I'll do it for you.
Did you hear how manly my cup noise was?
Oh boy. But
monster trucks.
So this also has
Sports Center.
This also has
Gatorade.
Jesus. This also has implications for their star wide receiver Davante Adams, who was going to sign an extension. Now that Aaron Rodgers is coming back, he might sign the extension, he might not, but there's a better chance now. So altogether, they might lose everybody. They might have to rebuild. They might have to do it after the season. We already did our preview show, and I think we said Aaron Rodgers on the team makes them go to the divisional, to the championship, but not win the Super Bowl kind of situation.
Right.
So
as they had the past 3 years, right?
Exactly. So from one quarterback to another, I really don't get this. Do you guys actually think this fucking thing is real? I had to tell. I do video editing for a fucking living. All right, kind of. So
With a strong emphasis on the kind of.
Kind of. But
right.
Come on, you can tell the football is frame by framed. It's literally
frame by framed.
You
can tell we're in the industry, framed by frame.
No, but I'm just being honest. The ball.
We are Hollywood elite.
The ball literally looks like it's literally zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out. He's throwing into a jug machine. That's physically. Okay, listen. Turn on a jug machine. I hope you guys understand what a jug machine fucking does, right? It spins forward.
Right.
So getting a football in it, the amount of velocity and the amount of shit that does it to break it.
He's not throwing 100-mile-per-hour fucking.
He's
football.
not.
Okay.
So stop it. Are you serious?
Maybe fucking give John Lester or Scherzer or
I just had to bring it up.
a chance here.
Bring it up.
And maybe they can do it, but you don't need to kind of do editing for a living or video content.
You didn't have to, but apparently
it was so apparent.
Oh my
I can't believe it fooled anybody, especially in this generation.
Everybody was
Especially in this time we're in now.
At least
that's the biggest rigmarole video I've ever fucking seen.
I liked it. Great word. I love that word.
Thank you. I'm usually great with my words.
So, everybody saw the ball, like he was on the beach, threw the ball to the moon. Everybody knew that was fake. Everybody saw the match play one.
Yep.
Where he was hitting birdies, like boom, 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 like he was hitting it like Tiger Woods. And now we have this video. You guys are kind of not thinking straight.
Do you think he is a guy that he basically meets in secret and says, hey, don't tell anybody, but we're making these really sick videos? And Tom,
no, he knows that he's making Tom is not. Tom Brady, I respect.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't know. But I'm saying he's rocking with it so hard that he's fucking idiots adding to the war. Right.
No, because Tom Brady is a troll. He is now a physical troll. He has been a physical troll since he's left New England.
Since he got the change finally unlocked, right?
God, the trolling he does is
He was released from the cage.
Unbelievable.
He was released from the cage.
He's talking about how he talks about corners that suck. There's somebody out there that said oh, you're gonna stick with that motherfucker.
The biggest moment of the summer.
God, talking about him and Gronk doing stupid shit like the rings. 2 DDs, you got 2 daddies. Good for you, dude. Good for you that you're under your off of daddy's fucking finger.
He's really made a schedule almost to make sure that we remember him every single week this summer. It's been so frustrating. For 2 weeks, that's all you fucking saw.
The new TV 12 method is to be in the public eye.
If you follow any sports media, sports social media at all, that clip is all you saw for 2 weeks.
It's kind of tiring.
It's all you saw for 2 weeks.
It was cute at the beginning, now it's tiring.
It was funny once.
It was cool.
It was funny once.
I think he's getting his life ready for after football. He's trying to put a video for production. LeBron James has one, Julian Edelman has one. He's probably gonna.
He's gonna build his little Florida army and take over the world.
Tom Brady, fuck.
All right, moving right along. I believe
contract
extension.
So
first of all, wait.
There's a lot.
There is, but come on. No, you do. You knew him. Come on.
No. Okay, big advocate.
I know for a fact you saw 2 people this past weekend that are good friends.
I thought he was gonna be last. I thought we were gonna keep him last because it was the grand finale.
Yeah, we'll reveal it at the end. Do the other ones first. That's what I said.
Fine, fuck.
It was just a little free inventory there.
Fred Warner. Yeah. Fred Warner, who we've talked about on this show,
more than deserving. Yeah.
Arguably, probably the best middle linebacker in the NFL.
The most underrated for sure.
So underrated because nobody talks about the inside position.
Which is bullshit, and he doesn't get the love at all or recognition.
It's so funny how this happened because he gets the biggest contract for the inside linebacker position, and then literally a day later, Darius Leonard, who's arguably in that category with him, gets the biggest contract after that. So it's so funny because I think it happened with Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack for the biggest defensive contract.
Yeah, definitely.
And it went like that.
Yeah.
So it was so funny for those two. But great for them, well deserving. I wish the Steelers had somebody like that. I mean, Devin Bush could be like that, but I'm not holding my breath with all the tweets he's doing with that shit. Devin White.
Wait, 60-hour work weeks. What's he doing?
Dude, he needs a 60-hour work week.
He needs a routine.
When Cam Hayward tells you to calm the fuck down.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's dude, calm the fuck down.
Give me one example.
What?
Of a tweet.
Oh, dude.
I told you. 60-hour work weeks. That wasn't a bit. Yeah.
Fucking crazy at what he's tweeting. He tweeted a video of a cat falling from a 20-story building, and he's like, "That's the first time I've ever seen a cat fall in his hand." Ha ha! It's what the fuck? And it's it's weird.
He needs to see that same sports psychologist.
And then he said something about he's like, "Some of you girls have too much confidence to come talk to me." Blah blah blah. That's when Cam Hayward's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up! Literally, shut the fuck up." And I kind of like that.
Oddball stuff.
Yeah, dude. Him and the TikTok boys. Need a relax.
So they're officially dubbed TikTok boys now. That's a thing. Please tell me it's an actual thing.
Oh, dude, it's been the TikTok boys. him, Chase Claypool, Juju, please.
What was the whole thing too early? And I know this is old hat, but I want to remember it and make sure it's engraved in my brain permanently. Yeah. What was the whole thing where who was it that on the Steelers defense that basically said I just don't fuck with doing
Devin Bush.
It was Devin Bush.
Bush. So that started the whole thing.
Okay.
And Devin Bush backpedaled and said oh Juju and Chase I didn't mean you guys no bitch say it because if I was their teammate I would say it to them.
Well, this is the problem.
We're not talking about the Steelers right now.
And we won't deep dive too hard, but
We're deep diving.
We're deep diving.
I don't like it.
How many? One, there should be a great TV show idea.
Last question.
Sports stars.
Last question.
What?
Last opinion question, whatever you have right now.
You're trying to cut me off? How dare you? Nice
Because
try.
it's about the Steelers, and I don't want to talk about.
No, it's not. Well, the Steelers will be part of the show.
Steelers probably be the main part of this show. It sounds like.
No, it wouldn't. So, if you let me get it out here, would you like to hear it? Would you like to hear my pitch?
Go ahead.
30 seconds. Elevator pitch. Here we
Go
go. Okay. If sports and social media was in the early days, in the Coke Field 80 days, in the 90s days, and you just have a TV show based off that.
Isn't that what the?
Do they already have some? Who knows?
Isn't that what the dark side of football is? Kind of like talking.
No, like I'm talking like a comedy show. I'm making up.
Oh, just a joke and anything, like a drunk history thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, cool.
Not. Oh, fuck you! You'd eat that.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just would like to see who would you get on that. Like, who would be the people?
So I think you have it a little bit different in your head. It either
it's like a drunk. I have a drunk history.
You have the drunk history, which I like, but I think it's more of an animated thing. It's more of an animated thing.
So like a drawing.
And it's like a sketch animated.
Like a Rick and Morty.
Sketch animated.
Isn't that what Gridiron Heights is?
Like sometimes you'll be in. No. Gridiron Heights is modern day.
So you want to do only back then.
Back then players, and you sometimes go exactly. So you go sometimes in the Bulls locker room. You go into LT's locker room and the Giants locker room. You go from every sport to sport of those kind of story players, and just
Dude, Netflix.
try not to get sued.
Honestly, you could pitch that to Netflix.
I mean, you'd have to alter the names.
Netflix. I feel like Netflix takes anything. So if you pitch them that, they'll put it up there for.
That's not. All our friends have a Netflix show. So yeah, we're good. It's a Rick and Morty bit. I stole a Rick and Morty bit, but yeah. And who else got a contract extension here?
Logan Thomas, well-deserved contract. You ended up being the top 5 tight end in most categories. So this is a good contract. It wasn't expensive. I think it was $24 million. So it wasn't a contract like Darren Waller, Kelsey, Kittle. He's in position to continue what he's doing in an offense that is growing, that might, quote-unquote, have an Aaron Rodgers one day. And if he is a tight end, you've got somebody for cheap. So that's good. Now to the big news, to our guy who we went to
Did we forget anybody else, though? I swear we forgot somebody else. Real quick before we
said Aaron Rodgers already.
That was, yeah, hold on. You said Rodgers.
There's linemen.
I want to give some people their due here that deserve their due because we know everybody listens to our show. No, you got everybody. We're good.
Okay. Now, well-deserved. A guy we've known from high school. He was a very humble kid. I'm acting like I actually knew him, but I mean, like, we kind of knew him, so.
We did. He accepted the fact that I went around and told everybody I beat him in a rap battle, and actually, in my opinion, it was pretty close.
You did not beat him.
It was pretty close.
You did not beat him.
It was close.
He put you in a body bag.
Jordan, first of all, you weren't at the rap battle.
There was a yearbook photo of that.
Where it does say that because I misquoted and I said that I won, so it says that in the yearbook. I can bring you the senior yearbook. It says I won.
Do you know exactly the picture I'm talking about? It's me, Eamon, and Jeff, like literally watching.
Right next to you. Okay, well, you know what? If you ask some other witnesses that day, some would say I won. So it's your opinion. You know,
honestly, that was the craziest moment in history of what we did. It turned out
Freestyle Friday Cypher.
Oh my God, we tweeted. That's when we knew how good Twitter was. Like Twitter brought people to the 400 Hall.
Oh, I didn't even realize Twitter was that because I didn't have Twitter. I was just part of the cast.
Me and Jeff were just tweeting. We're like, we better see all 400.
For real? I had no idea. That's how it got.
We got there early.
I had no idea that's how it got up. I had no idea.
It got to a point where
y'all just know I would show up.
It got to a point where Gabalski and Mr. Persons didn't even give a fuck anymore. They were just like,
they just gave up. They're like, as long as you're doing it before school.
As long as you're not making this a beach, then nah.
Right. As long as you're doing it before school, it's not whatever. Because it was a tradition. People fell in love with it. Great. So now I put in my resume that I beat Jonathan Allen in a rap battle.
Jonathan Allen.
Shout out to you, Jonathan. First of all,
honestly, great. He is, from what I hear from everybody, locker room wise, he is a guy. He is the guy. He is the captain. He is somebody who rallies the troops.
Well, from someone inside that listens to the show daily, that is inside, is he the one that gave you this information? We have a small insider.
It's
a small insider.
It's not like I needed the insider to tell me this.
He definitely keeps. 100%. But he definitely keeps the pulse on that team.
Oh yeah. So Jonathan Allen, $75 million, 4 years. He's staying in D.C. where he was born. He was not born here, but he was raised here, so that's good. Congratulations to our guy. Hopefully one day we can have him on the show. Honestly, it's good for you guys because now you're keeping a core and 2 key pieces from a team that could build from those pieces alone. So next is Payne, next is Chase, next is Sweat.
Yep.
So yeah, man. So I'm very excited to see what happens with this team. It is my hometown team, even though I'm gonna pick the Steelers over you guys every time. But if you guys are playing somebody, I'll get you.
So no, I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I just wanted to say real quick. Obviously, Jonathan kicked my ass in a rap battle. Although there are some opinions that felt different. Not only that, let me finish. Are you gonna let me finish? Is this half my show? Right? Let me finish. Not only that, he is an incredibly humble person from what I do remember. A hell of a leader and honestly really just a guy full of integrity and a guy full of, rare, just good sensibility and morals that you don't see too often anymore. And I'm happy for him. Congratulations. You're more than deserving. I can't wait to see your future with this team. I can't wait to see the future of the defense of this team with you and Chase leading the way. I think most of you kind of be in that silent, lead by example voice, so thank you for that. And if you ever do want to come on the show, you are more than welcome to come on the show. We'd love to have you.
Joey will suck your dick even more.
I will go ahead and I will put balls and cock. Balls and cock.
So, you know what? I put it on the docket. I don't care. But I'm going to say it.
Do it.
I don't like these Madden shits anymore. And now it's just getting,
I didn't buy the game last year. I boycotted it. I didn't buy it last year.
It's now all a gimmick. It doesn't make sense. I saw some of the ratings for the wide receivers, ratings for the defensive players. Like when you put J.J. Watt, who I respect as one of the generational pass rushers of this year, he's a 94. He's 94.
We could go on and down this list of just straight disrespect.
Aaron Donald,
once again.
Aaron Donald, Devontae Adams is 99s. Congratulations. They well deserved for that. But, yikes, man. Some of these ratings are... Julio Jones, 96, 95, I think. It's I think his teammate's better than him now. I think A.J. Brown is better than him. I think Calvin Ridley is better than him. Not saying, they're better in the sense of, they're going to be better than Julio for the rest of the time, but I'm just saying at this current juncture, I'm just done with Madden. I'm just done.
So, last year, Madden 21 was ranked easily the lowest rated Madden review game of all time.
Did not know that.
It was, I believe, at a certain point on its first 2 weeks release before Madden, basically, and EA Sports troped it up a whole lot, from what I can tell, was at a 0.3% out of 100 on game score. There were players going through players. The mechanics were clearly just barely dusted off, polishing and dusting off the turds. And it's if you go back and listen, I know I said last year, it's just such disrespect. They extended the contracts. We're in this trap for as long.
It's done, dude.
As the contract happens, which I believe is at least another 10 years.
My tail is going to be in between my legs. I'm going to buy that fucking game.
Don't! Hey, it felt so empowering last year. It felt so, and you know what? I got it for free now. Because I got it for free because no one was fucking buying it.
I got it for free now. I got this one for free, the 2022. Or kind of free. No,
22?
22.
How'd you get it kind of free?
Well, kind of free. And gift card. So I was like, what am I going to buy? I was like, 2K, FIFA, I have some money left.
So you've already pre-ordered it?
I pre-ordered all three. FIFA, 2K. Get back on the horse, see what it is. But, so...
And I'm supposed to be the bottom bitch.
I mean...
Take fucking EA's balls and cock out of your mouth.
I don't play those games. I play Call of Duty.
You ate their taint, you ate that ass, then you kissed them.
Speaking of taint.
Yeah.
NFL,
now you have my attention.
NFL Network, August 15th, they're going to come out with the top 100 players. I like it now because now they're going to do it.
God damn it, you still snuck this in.
The
list hasn't come out yet.
They're going to do it in a 3-hour show, which is way better than them doing it 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. Because it's so stupid. You
gave me shit because, yes, I have missed a bunch, and I was really good last year. When it's the regular season, we know I only missed minimum 2 shows. That's all I did miss last year.
Right.
Okay? Fair, right? When it's regular season, I'm here.
Fair.
All right? I'm here and I'm ready to go.
Fair.
The topics, including this one, that were presented to me just over the summer, which, again,
what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to make things up?
Ben Roethlisberger's diet, and it turns out he lied about the diet?
People were talking about it. What do you want me to do?
Why?
What do you mean?
Why?
Why what? Why?
And he made it all up so people would talk about it.
I know.
You really thought Ben was on a
Trust me, not me.
If anyone thought, he's not directing you right now,
this
but
guy-
if you believe for a moment that Ben was on a fucking diet,
This is the same guy who says he hasn't jerked off for like whatever because he found Jesus.
that's like saying, hey, I haven't got lazy with my workouts during COVID period and I haven't gained 20 pounds. Yes, I have!
Stop it. This guy, we're not
I'm
talking
fat again!
Why are we talking about him? I don't want to talk about him. Let's move on.
Okay, excellent.
You brought it up. Who do you think they ranked one? Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
I brought up your shitty topics. I mean, yes, Tom Brady.
Okay, end of story. Now we can go to.
Well, listen.
So we go
Do
to
you
the topic that actually matters.
Okay, we will discuss this when it comes out. When it comes out.
Yes.
When it matters.
Yes. And we won't talk about Ben's weight because Ben's weight. Be nice to him.
What was the other one too? Patrick Mahomes isn't scared of Justin Herbert.
No, I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to come up with stuff? You want me to start a rumor? Oh, yeah, here's a rumor.
Yeah. What you got?
Okay. Who do we hate? Name a player we hate. We both hate.
We
both hate.
fucking despise Zeke Elliott.
Okay, Zeke Elliott is. He has a whorehouse.
Where he is not only doing that, but he's selling all the horse kids
He's
off.
doing a Breaking Bad situation. He has a whorehouse in Arizona, which is legal, but underneath he's making meth.
But with the kids of the horse are making the meth.
Bingo.
Thank you.
All right. There you go. There's
Teamwork
your
makes
rumor.
dream work.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Okay, great.
Next
I'll be here
topic.
every week now.
Next topic. Big NFL rule news. COVID. Obviously, we have the vaccine now. So now the NFL is like, we have the vaccine. Now we need to stop with the
We have
bullshit.
a weird transition from like bit topics to serious topics
Actually,
today.
but this one was an argument too.
Yeah.
So the COVID thing. A lot of the players have their own opinions on the vaccine. They don't want to get the vaccine. They don't want to do this. Some want to get the vaccine. Some are saying they're doing their part. Let me tell you something. All right. The NFL basically said, "We don't give a fuck about your views. This is a place of employment, like most employment places have said. You need to get vaccinated or you're not going to work. That's it. But guess what? You forfeit. Your team forfeits if there's an outbreak because of you. And guess what that forfeit means? Not only does your team win, the other team wins, but both teams doesn't get paid for that game. They get game day checks, quote unquote, soccer. But guess what? Now, not only your teammates hate you, but the team that you got that forfeit the game with hates you as well. So guess what?
Nice recovery.
You know what? No problem. So if it's a riot, if it's a divisional game, so say it's the Steelers and the Ravens, and say Gus Edwards actually got COVID. Gus Edwards actually got COVID right now.
Gus.
If Gus Edwards got COVID while he was playing the Steelers, not only does Lamar Jackson hate you,
I'm going to try your way. It looks more comfortable.
It does.
I've never done it this way.
The TikTok boys hate you.
Oh
Everybody
my
hates
god.
you.
Why haven't I done this?
Why haven't you done it?
I have no idea.
This is really...
I feel like my cock's finally huge too.
Oh my
This
God.
is revolutionary.
So my point is...
I love how you're about to say something positive. This is it! And then I'm like, yep,
This
dick
is
joke.
it!
Dick joke.
But honestly, dude, like, I'm with the NFL on this.
Yeah.
For my job, my current job right now, I had to get vaccinated. I had to go into the office or I get fired.
I did too, yeah.
So people are doing it for a lot less. And I'm sorry, you're being a prima donna if you're not going to get it. Listen, I understand you feel like there might be underlying issues, blah, blah, blah. This is this cat. You don't want to get the vaccine because you think there's some underlying thing, as in they didn't get tested, didn't do this, didn't do this. All the things you're saying right now has been researched by the highest doctors. All of the world was researching to find a vaccine. It wasn't just China. It wasn't just us. It wasn't just South America. It was all our doctors. So,
there is the world's leading experts that put together this vaccine.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, we don't...
now it's turning into a political
Now, wait,
podcast,
and then I'm going to put a caveat with that on, again, it is your own decision. There may be some
Thank you.
circumstances where you can't have the
We're
vaccination.
only saying place of employment talk. Place of employment talks.
Yes. With that being said, there is a clear... It is a HIPAA violation if you do ask somebody, hey, have you been vaccinated?
Correct.
Are you going to get the vaccine?
Correct.
You cannot do that.
Correct.
You straight up just cannot do that. That is something that has been implemented since all this has happened. It is your entire choice. It is up to you. I understand that there are some people that are frustrated with others that haven't done that yet. At the end of the day, it is their prerogative, and that's where we should leave it at. However, I do believe that there is a common sense choice and no common sense choice. Moving right along from that is to actually implement people's paychecks due to that is just Roger Goodell once again being rock fucking hard. He's probably been rock hard since this rule
He was just
dropped.
waiting for this to happen.
And what's another thing that can I basically, not to make too many cock references, but have you listened to this show? And throw down his fucking cock again and his power to go ahead and say, I am the dictator, I rule with an iron fist here, and this is the way I see it, and it's got to be this way or the fucking highway. You cannot strip, you should legally not be able to strip somebody's paycheck away from them because they are not doing a choice medically. However you may feel about that situation, that shouldn't be the case. To where, or even more so into that, you're taking away somebody that did get vaccinated, that did go ahead and take the proper precautions, that, was being safe on the other team, and you're going ahead and then you're taking away their paycheck.
Yep.
That is not legal in my opinion. That is as dictative and as authoritative and almost like Stalin-esque that I can think of, Nudie.
Well, a lot of people are saying, like, why is it the other team? Well, I think in my opinion is, if it's just your team and blah, 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 and you're all a band of brothers, you're not going to take it as seriously as if it affects your fellow NFLers or whatever. Like, think about it. I would love for all the games to be forfeited and you don't have to play. You get an extra fucking week of rest. But guess what? I lose my game check too. So you all better get fucking vaccinated. DeAndre Hopkins, Cole Beasley, fucking all these guys. Some people even some players said, I don't want to get the vaccine, but I'm getting it because I want to help out. I want this to work. And people are thinking of it as a job. Like, they're thinking of it as a job. You need certain things for your job. You need certain things. I understand what you mean. And Roger Goodell said it. He's like, no one's forcing you. Nobody's forcing you. We're just telling you there is consequences to actions.
Right.
Like, say, if you don't get the vaccine, we find out that the outbreak was because of you, then our hands are tied. We got to do something. Like, it's like, we have a vaccine now. Like, you can't use that. That was the excuse all last year.
Right.
There was no vaccine.
And I get the thing of too, where it's a professional job. Like some jobs, like especially with the industry I work in, most jobs are going to require you to get a TB test beforehand, right? Especially if you haven't had one in the last couple of years. You definitely need to be vaccinated because I work with kids and around kids, so I definitely need to be vaccinated. Here, the same situation, I can understand enforcing it to a certain extent, saying basically you will not get a game paycheck, or your team as a thing, your place of work as a whole will suffer. But you shouldn't make it so will this other random team that you happen to be facing that week. I think that is just, it literally is, and it's no bit here, that literally is a Stalin-ass.
That's kind of,
yeah. It is. It straight up is.
Anyway.
Gestapo is a motherfucker.
So for you guys who play fantasy, this might fuck you in many different ways, so be careful for that.
Yeah. Take advice in the following next segment very, very cautiously and very trepidatiously.
Okay. So we are going to do our argument that we normally do, but I think it's a different twist. So this one...
A little bit different twist.
So
it's two-pronged. What do you want to go first? You want to go under or over?
Let's go under. So we're going to do the undervalued players in fantasy football this year, but we're going to do it on our own list. So Joe's going to go first, I'm going to go next, then we're going to do the overs, and we're going to have a little back and forth with it, because maybe he's going to say somebody that I think is an over, that he thinks is an under. We don't know. We're hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, we did not share this as we typically do pre-show to get a little juice going. This is just raw.
K-Makers overpriced.
We're not wrapping up.
K-Makers overpriced. Just kidding. Go ahead.
You heard it here first, right now. No one else is saying it. No, someone is saying that they are on the overrated list this year, dude. And I think you have a funny feel
overrated,
where I'm going.
Overrated, yeah.
Because are we doing overrated first or underrated first?
No. I said overvalued,
No, I'm doing undervalued first. You said let's go under. I'm doing
no, but you said overrated.
But just listen. Okay? That a lot of people have on their overrated list. That I have on my underrated list, which is what we said we're starting with. So, in my underrated list, so I'm going to go back to the comfy position. In my underrated list, by the way, that's just me sitting back with the mic in my lap. For non-YouTube viewers.
There you go.
With that being said, couple things. This man, for some reason, and I think you will have a funny feeling where I'm going, since we're doing undervalued, just if you listened to me
I'm listening.
2 weeks ago.
I'm not saying.
If you listened to me 2 weeks ago, I teased it.
My
And that is...
God.
James Robinson. I don't know why this man continues to be on every overvalued list out there. Maybe it's because the team he's on. Maybe it's because new QB. Maybe it's because he had a little bit of a downfall the last couple weeks of that season. I get it. In my opinion, he is the most underrated person in this draft. He should be going first round. He's not. He's going third, fourth, maybe even fifth in some cases. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and if you do really want some great advice, follow this. He is your golden goat. He's a guy that is going to have back-to-back years where he'll spaz. I don't understand why this sophomore slump or is getting all over him. So everyone just selected him as the guy that's going to fall this year. Why, dude? Why?
I'll tell you why. So James Robinson so they basically had a free square. Everybody talks about it. He was undrafted. He did well last year.
Yep.
He was the top 6-7 running back in fantasy or whatever,
And statistically wise as well.
And offensively, in an offense that sucked. So they had a free square. But guess what they said? After let's pick fucking Trevor Lawrence, we're gonna pick his best friend Trevor Etienne.
I know.
And when you pick a running back in the first fucking round, you're gonna have to prove that you have to show value in that. You have to be like, here you go. So it's not so that James Robinson is bad. It's just this asshole of an organization, the Jacksonville Jaguars, don't know how to do shit.
And I understand that. And I knew that's the first thing you're going to bring up. That's fine. My argument to that is I don't believe in the talent of the guy that they drafted. I don't believe in the potential that everybody's giving him that they drafted. I understand he had a decent season this year. It's not somebody that I'm completely in love with. I do see that James Robinson clearly, I think, has set a foundation, has set a precedent that I think he will keep with. And when it is all said and done, there's going to be a man who's going to have that ball singularly for the Jaguars, running ball singularly for the Jaguars, I'd say by week 8, week 9, and that is going to be James Robinson.
They did say he's the workhorse back and that they're going to use Etienne more of a wide receiver role, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
We'll believe it when I see it.
That's why he's getting undervalued.
I don't
That's why he's
the
getting
Jacksonville Jaguars organization. That's the problem with this.
No one does. No one does. Still, I have a little. You gotta have faith, faith, faith. Come on, Urban Meyer. Show us your desires. You got that surfing kid. You got James Robinson and friends. Fuck shit up. Duval. Wasn't terrible.
Those are the worst.
It definitely was not the worst made-up song. Definitely was not my worst made-up song on the show.
Definitely not the worst. All right.
Who is your undervalued guy?
My undervalued guy that isn't a quarterback, that isn't a wide receiver. It's not even a running back.
Okay.
It is a tight end.
Okay.
And I think the tight end that is being overlooked a lot and needs to be.
And is undervalued.
It is undervalued.
Overlooked, undervalued.
Overlooked and undervalued.
Not overvalued and looked too much.
No. So we talked about the Wallers, we talked about the Kelseys, we talk about the Kittles. But there's a guy out there, not in Detroit, it's not TJ Hawkinson. It's not Evan Ingram. It's not even Eric Ebron.
If you're doing who I think you're doing, it's so obvious.
Who is it? See, I want to hear your answer.
Unless I just missed his name because I was looking up something else for the next part of this segment.
Go ahead.
But I am the walrus.
No, I just said it wasn't.
Okay, see, I missed his name.
Come on.
See, me how dare you know, we've been doing this 2 years for now. How dare I think you sank that low? I apologize. I apologize.
So one guy that I actually do think he's going to do good, and I think he's in an offense now that they're going to make their quarterback Cook, Russ Cook. It's going to be Gerald Everett. It's going to be Gerald Everett.
It's okay.
So why did I say that?
I'm not mad at it.
So let me tell you why I said Gerald Everett.
Please.
So Gerald Everett was Sean McVay's very first draft pick as a head coach. He put all his eggs in one basket. He said, this is the guy I'm going to do. He is a physical freak. Unfortunately for him, he was in an offense that didn't feature the tight end as well. But in the Seattle offense, there is DK, there is Tyler, or Lockett. After that, there's no one. So there needs to be a third option.
And that's how he prefers to pronounce it, Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett, because he's always stuttering and how he does well and fuck. So
sure, why not? Yeah. Yes, and.
Gerald Everett needs to be put on a lot of people's draft boards. He is a physical freak. He can get to the end zone. He will be an end zone target, and he will be much loved with. Now, Don't
What?
don't
yell at me.
don't
What did I do to you?
don't hear what I'm not saying.
I'm hearing it.
This is a guy that you can stash on your bench and see what happens. Don't let him be your number one tight end. See what happens. He's going in the 12th, 13th round. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you get Kyle Pitts and he doesn't turn out to be that good, God forbid one of the big three gets hurt, why not have a little insurance option, you know? So, Gerald Everett, I like you. You're undervalued in my sense because you're in an offense now that could cook in the sense of Russell Wilson being the MVP. Could be throwing the ball all over the place. So,
Yeah.
Gerald Everett, there you go.
No, I definitely see the points. I like it. I definitely think he's going to get a lot of freedom, and if any year, it's his year to kind of break out. And definitely, offense race going to get a little more used more than he was last year in the Rams. So I like that a whole lot. What I like in terms of that as well is he is gonna get that space. He's gonna have those opportunities.
Yeah,
100%. So it's the breakout year for him if he can hone and take advantage of those tools that are provided to him.
Pete Carroll was asked in an interview, who is the breakout star? Without hesitation, he said Gerald Everett. So take it how you leave it. So there you go.
Yeah, and he's also going to pass the ball on 4th and 1 when he has one of the best running backs of all time. But anyway, so with that being said, speaking of running backs, is going to be the most overvalued player for me, Noon. Guy that is looked at too much, too big of that value name.
Please don't say who I think you're going to say.
Who do you think I'm going to say? I gave mine. I was incorrect. Who do you think I'm going to say? Let's find the disrespect here. Yeah.
Is it Eckler?
It is Eckler.
You don't like Eckler. I feel like you just
No,
don't like
I liked him last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who'd you hate last year, running back wise? You hated somebody and he turned out to be good.
I'm never wrong, so I doubt I said anything that was off.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead. Eckler.
So, no, here's why Eckler. Okay, I understand he's at his prime. He's 26 years old. He just came back from this injury and non-COVID year, had some time to prep and train and yada yada, blah, blah, blah. There's also a guy right behind him named Justin Jackson.
Yep.
Who I think definitely showed a whole lot of potential along with Joshua Kelly.
Yep.
Who I think has sold a lot of potential.
Yep.
I think this is also a type of team where Anthony's going to go ahead and say, hey, you know what? I like my triple head. I like that a whole lot more. I've been dealing with Austin Eckler injuries for the latter half of the last 5 years, so why am I going to go ahead? Well, last 3 years. Let me correct my last 3 years where Eckler's either doing fantastic on a streak or there's a ankle injury or knee you're worrying about, right?
Mm.
So I just don't have faith in this guy for the exact logic you don't have faith in my undervalued pick. But a little more so. I see more potential in these younger guys than I do in the guys that the guy that James Robinson has to face off. I know a lot of people feel very different. That's fine. That's your opinion. But I think at the same time too, Justin Jackson is a guy that's going to be in this league for a couple of years. Joshua Kelly has that potential, especially when it comes to route running. So I don't see. I see him being that third down guy role that he was in for a while when they also had, help me out here, Nude.
Melvin Gordon.
When they had Melvin Gordon. I see him being more reduced back to that, to keep him healthy and to keep him in these scenarios, but I don't see him being the value that we once hailed Austin Eckler at.
So he's going in probably the back of the second.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't hate it. Let's just say that. Like, he is definitely a guy who could do that because now that they have Justin Herbert, they want to prove that this guy is worth every penny and can be a guy that can compete with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers if he comes to.
Don't worry, Patrick Mahomes isn't scared. Aren't you disappointed we didn't do a 10-minute segment on that?
I fucking hate it. I fucking hate the offseason. But, no, I honestly, good for you for doing that because, a lot of people like Austin Eckler because of the offense.
He's a great guy, great personality. Doesn't mean he's going to do well for you in fantasy.
Guy gets hurt left and right. So just be careful with him. So,
listen, we all love that drill we saw last year that he was doing. My favorite parts of Hard Knocks, where I tried to actually make that a bit on the show, where I jump over what I think was 4 or 5 blocking bags. And he fucking cleared those motherfuckers like I probably would have. But I think he had 8, bro. I think he had 8 that was cleared.
So he's got hops. It's just nonsense.
Like most NFL athletes, an athletic freak, but I just don't think he's going to make the cut this year in 1% to make your fantasy team.
No. So for my guy,
yeah,
it's actually a guy that a lot of people are going to be like really? He's going over value?
We've agreed with every single one of ours except for James Robinson,
but this is a guy.
Let's see if I agree with this one.
This guy, I just don't understand. He's still being picked pretty high, in my opinion. I think it's in the 5th round. He'll be your wide receiver 2. But he was a wide receiver 1 in his old role, but I don't see it going that way, it's Kenny Golladay. So Kenny Golladay, in a sense...
Damn, we agree with every single one except for James Robinson.
It's not just Kenny Golladay.
I wouldn't even say he's getting... Do you think he's that overvalued in the fifth?
I want him as a flex, if anything. Because here's what I'm going to say.
Sure.
So here's why I'm going to say this. So
injury bug last year, too.
So injury bug last year.
Yeah.
He got the big money, so he is expected to be the number one wide receiver. But it's hard to make him the number one wide receiver when you have Evan Ingram, you have Sterling Shepard, you have Darius Slayton, who has a rapport with Daniel Jones. And it's on Daniel Jones, too. So it's like, if I'm putting my eggs in the basket of my number one wide receiver, wouldn't I want that guy to be his quarterback, to be the guy, like, I can trust this quarterback? So if it's Keenan Allen, I'm trusting Justin Herbert. If it's Devontae Adams, it's now Aaron Rodgers. So I trust Aaron Rodgers, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes. We can play this game.
This goes on, yeah.
That's why people don't pick Hollywood Brown. And that's why people aren't picking Deontay Johnson that high, because we don't know if Deontay Johnson's that high because of Ben Roethlisberger. We know Terry McLaurin is the number one wide receiver, and
we know he's got Fitzpatrick. It's
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
So,
you trust Fitzpatrick.
Kenny Golladay, I don't know his rapport with Daniel Jones yet because it's new, one. Saquon's back, so that's another wrinkle into the offense. And what does Joe Judge do with all this? Like, what is the offensive game plan? Is it going to be a situation where it's Kenny Golladay day, one Sunday? Is it going to be a Darius Slayton day, another day? Is it just Saquon pounding the rock 150 times, and then we don't see
it back?
Hope
not. To last the whole fucking season.
So it's not really Kenny Golladay being overvalued. It's where he's getting drafted, and I have to trust Daniel Jones. And I don't want to trust Daniel Jones. I'd rather trust... And I hate to say Sam Darnold with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson.
One of our more impassioned debates, and the only thing I disagree with you on is the logic of where you're coming from with it. For me, it's more like, yeah, well, your logic makes sense as well. I'm with you on that. I don't disagree. It's the wrong word, but rather I went different logic with it. And for me, he should be 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think if he's your flex, I'm static. If he's
sure.
If he's
I'm not that ecstatic in general about
I might be happy with him, and then I'd be like, is he my wide receiver too? He's my wide. Okay, so here's the scenario where I'd be happy with Kenny Golladay.
Okay.
I drafted a running back, or I drafted Kelsey running back, and then I drafted another running back. So I have either 3 running backs, tight end, and 2 running backs, and he's my wide receiver 1.
So since we're somewhat making this debate,
or he's my second wide receiver after my first wide receiver. So I pick somebody like a DJ Moore, somebody like.
Let me ask you 2 questions. One, how many above 20-point games is he going to have for you this season? If you did it, and what is his average this season? Just ballpark.
His average would be, to me, I'd say.
In a, let's see, half point
PPR. So if it's a half point to PPR, it's going to be in the double digits just because of sheer volume. Plus, you have to prove to yourself, like I said about ETN, where you have to show people that the value is there and we did make a mistake. Right. So they're going to try to do it. But my point
they're definitely both prove it, guys. One being a new role, one being a new
exactly. But at what point do you say fuck this and you go to another route? Because Daniel Jones, I don't know. So if I'm in the 6th round and I need another wide receiver and I have 3 running backs, a wide receiver already, Kenny Golladay be my 2? It could be worse.
There's just too many what ifs surrounding Kenny Golladay.
So you're right. This was an impassioned debate, but it was for you guys to know. When the forfeit happens, be sure to have some rules in place where you switch out players if your commissioner is not a douchebag. So,
and if he is, get the fuck out that league.
Exactly. So that's our show. Face of the Franchise is back at its regular time, at its regular place, maybe. But we will be back in the off season.
Regular season.
We'll be back in the regular season doing shows on.
We're still in the off season.
No, I meant like. Can I finish?
You said we'll be back in the off season.
Yeah, we'll be back again. It's still the off season, so hopefully we'd be back in the off season.
I mean, we should be.
Yeah. So
I come back from Texas.
Yeah. So we'll do our shows. We'll record them on Tuesday, be out on Wednesday because we'll have the games on Thursday. Joe, you gotta commit to that because that's the only way we can do this shit. So
Thursday night.
So Tuesday, either Thursday night or Tuesday.
When the first preseason games start.
No, with the regular season.
Oh, sure, yeah, dude. Regular season on there.
Okay, there you go.
Well, so it was establishing a new job, people, 60-hour work week. Already got away from the burden of being in a school government county, and now I am in a nonprofit, which is much nicer, but I also got to prove myself, and it was the first 3 weeks. Forgive me. We'll be okay. We'll be
So
fine.
that's-
Sorry we didn't talk about Ben Roethlisberger acting like he's eating fucking, salmon and good construct fish. Instead, he's eating Chipotle and calling it healthy because he didn't
When
get the
people
sour
say
cream.
stuff about
When
people say stuff about Ben Roethlisberger, they just want something out of it. I
I don't want anything out of it. No. I want him to stop lying.
When did it?
Stop being a liar.
Apparently
Stop being a liar.
Ben said he didn't say anything.
You're a rapist, you're a liar, and somehow you're still in the league.
By the way, rapist thing, Watson reporting to camp. Yikes.
Reason we didn't mention that. you did.
Sponsors.
I'm kidding.
Shout out to our sponsors. We love you guys. Thank you guys for keeping the light on. First Four Corners Studio for keeping us in here. But Stuck Up Clothing, as you can see, Joe is wearing the nice summer button-down shirts. Go find them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and at their website, stuckupclothing.com.
We're about to go viral.
Finest
I just
clothing,
twerked in front of the
vinyl,
camera. We're about to go viral.
finest clothing money to buy. Sorry, Jeff. Because
I only want
that is-
70% of Four Corners rating.
I cite
80, you're right.
I cite Mobile Eyewear Company. They are now buying a Sprinter van, so they are coming to you more efficiently. They have new glasses out there. Go find them on IG and Facebook. On their website, eyesight with the letter I. Go find them. And Seductions by Jax. Get your eyelash, get your hair, get your everything done because you need it. She is booking up fast. Book on IG, find her.
Last week of August just opened up. Get it while you can.
We will put all their tags on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our IG, as well as the this episode is sponsored by Smooth My Balls. Get the ball deodorant, get everything you need. It's summertime. You don't want to have a bush. Get it done. Sponsored.
It's easy to get that liquid and that sweat and that milked up. No lady wants that. Trust us. Go ahead. Get your deodorant.
Use promo
Have your
code
balls
Force.
smelling better than your piss.
Use promo code 4CR for money off your next purchase. That's the number 4, CR, and the number 20. That is our show, Face of the Franchise. I'm the Pharaoh. That is Little Joe. Stay breezy, stay easy, and one love.
Ha ha!